Spreadsheets, along with word processors, were one of the first productivity applications made available with personal computers. Today, popular spreadsheet applications include Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. A spreadsheet is a very simple concept. In the days before computers, a spreadsheet was simply a large piece of paper divided into rows and columns and typically used for accounting. Today's computer-based spreadsheets are similar in that they too contain data presented in rows and columns. In order to identify each part of the spreadsheet, the columns are typically labelled with letters and the rows labelled with numbers. The areas where rows and columns meet are known as cells, and each cell is referenced by its row and its column label. So for example, the cell in the top left-hand corner of this Google Sheets spreadsheet is labelled A1. Each cell can contain one item of data. That might be a number, it might be some text, it might be a date. So you can store data in the cells of a spreadsheet. But its real power lies in its ability to include formulae to calculate results based on the content of selected parts of that spreadsheet. A very simple example of that would be a formula that adds up the total of a column of numbers, or perhaps calculates the mean average of those numbers. Unlike a paper spreadsheet, whenever a value in the column is changed, the results of the formula are automatically recalculated, as you can see in this example. Although spreadsheets are mostly used to work with numbers because that's where they're most useful, formulae can also be used that work with text. For example, a formula can tell you how many times a particular letter, or word, or phrase appears in a particular selected area of your spreadsheet. When you're working with spreadsheets, you can write your own formulae. But spreadsheets also come readily loaded with all sorts of functions that can create these commonly needed formulae for you. To use them, you just choose the function that does the work that you want. So for example, in Google Sheets, there's a function called sum that's used to add up a selection of cells. There's an average function that lets you work out the mean average of a selection of cells, and so on. When we're looking at text, the COUNTIF function is the one that lets you count up how many times words or phrases are used in a selected area of the spreadsheet. Spreadsheets have lots of other useful features too, such as the ability to create various types of graph from the data in the cells. In this example, we're creating a bar chart from some of our data. Spreadsheets can be used with other tools too. For example, if you create a survey using a Google form, you can automatically create a spreadsheet from the survey responses and then use your spreadsheet to analyse the results. Spreadsheets are highly useful and versatile tools, even though on the surface they look quite simple.